All right, boys. I may not be the bet losing messiah that I thought I was. I may not have the answer to the Seattle Seahawks winning every single game for the rest of the season. We lost to the Atlanta Falcons 27 to 23 in a pretty disappointing game. Uh, it wasn't that bad. Wasn't as bad as last week. We did end up putting points up, pretty decent amount of points when it comes to the offensive side of the football. We had some drives that didn't look great whatsoever, offensively and defensively, but we did have some bright spots in the game. Our run game got going a little bit better today. Let me pull up the stats. We got Rashad Penny with 14 carries, 66 yards, 4.7 a carry. Early on in the game, he was getting like 14 yards, 12 yards, 10 yards. Abe Lucas was blocking great on some of those plays. I saw Noah Fant was blocking very well on some of those run plays as well early on in the game, but it kind of slowed down after that. They started to kind of contain us. Kenneth Walker had a couple negative running plays. He ended up with 19 yards on 6.3 a carry, but his long was 21. So you can kind of assume that the other two were negative plays, or one was a big negative play. Like Kenneth Walker had a really nice play on a jet sweep, but that was really it. DJ Dallas looked good when he ran. I would like to see DJ Dallas get the ball more because he looked like when he started getting downhill, unstoppable. He was running with power. He looked good. I like DJ Dallas. I like seeing DJ Dallas on the field. I would like to see more of him. Geno Smith today, not a horrible game. A little bit lower completion percentage. Oh man, only 32 of 44. We threw 44 times, which is a lot more than I thought we would. But we were down for the majority of the game, and especially in the fourth quarter. But we really never had a lead to allow us to run the ball and try and like run time off the clock because I think the only time we had a lead was right at the end of halftime, and then the Falcons got the ball, second half kickoff, and then scored a field goal to tie it. So we ended up, we put up 23 points. That's better. That's better than last week against the 49ers, where we put up 0 points offensively. But there were some downfalls. That last drive on fourth down, we didn't look amazing. We got to a decent spot, but then penalties started to hurt us, and Geno Smith, when Geno Smith needs to get a big play, he can't. That's kind of just the gist. Geno Smith, he can get you a big play if no one's expecting him to get a big play because you don't need a big play in the whole, thing. But when he needs a big play, he struggles. Like he got a big play on 3rd and 1 because we did a play action. They thought we were going to run because it was 3rd and 1. But then he got a good pass. When we need like 3rd and 8, I don't think he was going to get that. He got sacked like immediately. What was it? Austin Blythe and Gabe Jackson both let their guys like get right to him immediately. And then 4th and 14, that was where he got the interception. I'm not putting that interception on him. That was one of those like you have to throw it up. Of course, he could have had a better pass on that play because it was impossible for Tyler Lockett to get it, but he got pressured again, had to roll out to buy himself time. I would have rather seen a play to DK Metcalf because I would trust DK Metcalf in double coverage more than I trust Tyler Lockett. Tyler's not going to go up and get a jump ball in double coverage, but, it's decision. On the replay, Tyler Lockett looked pretty open. Like if you could fit it into the window, Geno Smith threw it too late, didn't throw it accurate enough. But overall, not a bad game for Geno Smith. Wasn't great, but I don't think anyone's going to be calling for his job after this game. I think people will be like, all right, Geno can put up points. It's more on our defense not being able to stop the run. The run has been a big issue for us recently for both us rushing doesn't work too well and the other team running works a little bit too well. We did a little bit better in running today overall, over 100 yards, 4.9 a carry, not bad. But the Atlanta Falcons had almost 180, almost 6 per carry, and 2 touchdowns. Cordero Patterson had a career day, most yards he's had in his career, most rushing yards. So that's not something you like to see when you're the defense that it happens against. Kyle Pitts did very well against us today. I think Mike Jackson was on him. Michael Jackson was on him most of the game. Michael Jackson had a fantastic breakup to stop a touchdown for Drake London. But Kyle Pitts was getting the better of his matchups. I think we had some plays where Josh Jones was on him and some plays where Michael Jackson was on him. And there was one where I don't think it was Kyle Pitts, but Cody Barton had a big mental lapse, just completely missed his assignment, or he got completely toasted on a route. One or the other. and he led up a pretty big play to a tight end. I don't think it was Kyle Pitts. It was, I think it was Ferkser. But this game wasn't the worst, wasn't the best. I think we can take this into the future. I think next week is going to be a pretty difficult game against the Lions because their offense has been clicking. Their run game is doing very well. Jamal Williams is very good, and also DeAndre Swift. And DeAndre Swift is probably going to be healthy going into that week, so that's going to be a difficult challenge for us once again in the run game. Defensively, though, we had Nwosu had a decent game, not as great as week 1, not as great as week 2, but he did recover the fumble on the completely botched read play by Marcus Mariota. That was really the only reason we were in that game late, and we didn't even get points out of it. Jordan Brooks looked like he got hurt on the last play where Cordero Patterson got the first down to put the game out of reach, where we don't have time to stop it anymore. But Tariq Woolen, big for him, got his first interception of his career. Didn't mean anything because it was last second of the first half, and he didn't return it for a touchdown. So nothing really came out of it, but first interception for him, first interception for the team. Very cool to see from that. DJ Dallas had a pretty decent game when it came to returning kickoffs. Michael Jackson, not a bad game, not a great game. He had a really, really good play to break up the Drake London, but other than that, he had a really tough matchup against Kyle Pitts. It's unfortunate for him. Boye Mafe needs to be in the game more. That is 100%, because every time I see him in the game, I notice that he's doing something. When he's out of the game, he just, can't see him doing anything because he's not in the game. But Boye Mafe, when he's on the field, seems to be doing pretty well. I would like to see him just continue to get more usage. Kobe Bryant had a screamer off the edge for a sack early on in the game. That was good to see. And then we had Quentin Jefferson, who was filling in for Shelby Harris. He got a sack as well today. So overall, good for those guys. Overall, it wasn't a great game for us, but it was better than the 49ers game, which was to be expected. And I think that there are things that we can do to build for the future. Geno Smith looked all right. The offense looked all right. It wasn't horrible. I think taking more deep shots and having that risk of being able to go deep to DK Metcalf or something like that is an important thing to have. I think the tight end usage that we had, especially early in the game, was working out, and it looked good for us. But we need to just keep getting the run going, because we had some very good plays early on in the run, and then it just started to die down, and the run was not doing as well as it was early on. And we need that run game if we want Geno Smith to do anything, because Geno Smith is a game manager. No matter how much you love Geno Smith, you cannot tell me that Geno Smith will bring us back from down 14. Geno Smith will win you the game if you're up 10 points. That's how it goes. And if Geno Smith isn't up 10 points, if we're not running the ball well to take time off the clock, to keep a lead, we're not going to do too hot. If our defense can't stop the run, if our defense can't stop the pass, we need better defense, we need better running, and that's something that I assume we will begin to do better with. But overall, it's Marcus Mariota, not the greatest quarterback, but we kind of held their passing game in check other than Kyle Pitts. But the run game, man, last week against the 49ers, got dominated. Week 1, I think we did all right against the run. This week, horrible. Next week, I don't really have too much faith in us, because that's a good running back tandem, and the Lions are somehow, some way, just on it. But, that's it for this game. Hopefully, this is going to get us the better pick. Hopefully the Broncos lose. Hopefully the Broncos lose tonight. Rooting for the 49ers. I believe that's who they're going against. Yeah, rooting for the 49ers feels a bit weird. But if the Broncos lose, we get a better pick as well. So if the Broncos keep losing, we keep losing, we'll get 2 very good first-round picks and 2 very good second-round picks. I'm okay with this loss. I would have liked to beat the Falcons. This is probably one of our easier games in the entirety of our schedule. But losing makes our future better. And it was a decent game to watch. We didn't get steamrolled. We didn't look horrible. There was a chance we could have won that game up until it was 4th and 18 after the sack was let up. So this was a slightly enjoyable game. And now we will get a better pick because we lost. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought about this game. What were your thoughts on Geno Smith's performance? What do you think the defense could do better? Because, the run defense is not looking great. And I don't know what the big problem is. I mean, are we not tackling well? Are we just not filling gaps? I'm a football casual, so I can only gain so much from watching the game once. I need to go back and watch like the replays to try and like actually think and use my brain. But like I said, let me know down below what you thought about this game. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a great day.